Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy The Fulfills and I'm back again with another YouTube video. Now today we're going to be talking about 2XKO, formerly known as Project L. You know, I made a video a couple of days ago. The name of the game is officially 2XKO. It's no longer called Project L, so that's what we call it from now on. We have a video here from Diaphone, from the channel Diaphone Highlights. If you guys don't know who Diaphone is another content creator who also makes a bunch of fighting game content. So if you guys, he's made a video where he's apparently played, I don't know how to pronounce this, Illaoi for 15 hours, says the title. Now Illaoi, I believe, is the character that is displayed in the recent clips that Riot has released for the game, where they talked about like the roadmap and they talked about the 2025 release day and stuff like that. We saw a little bit of gameplay, however we didn't see anything in depth, and Illaoi seems to be the newest character that we've seen in the game. So I'm hoping that this video shows a bit of gameplay and stuff. And also, if you guys want to go to the original channel, the link to the original channel or original video will be in the description as well, so make sure you guys go check that out if you want to as well. Now, I just want to see, I'm really interested. You guys know I'm interested in playing Project L when it drops, so any form of content or things we haven't seen from the game, I'm always going to want to check out and tune in. So let's have a look and see what this video has in store for us. Let's see.
Project L is now officially 2XKO, and there will be opportunity for us to play at home later this year, and there's new footage of Illaoi, the newest playable champion. You guys might have heard of other people talk about the first two, but I would
this is the character right here.
Since I've probably played Illaoi the most out of any person that's legally allowed to talk about her. But first, let's talk about the name. I don't know. I'm kind of ambivalent about it. I think Project L was a better name. Honestly, it just kind of screams League of Legends.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people have been saying that, and I do agree. I think Project L is just that name. I don't think it's because we just got used to it after a while. Like Project L, I think was a better name, but I guess it's 2XKO. At the end of the day, what really matters is the game being good.
Just to me, 2XKO, I feel like it's kind of like a hipster name. I don't know. I know a lot of people hate the name, but to me, it kind of stands out. And as long as we don't say 2XKO, like if we say like 2KO, I don't know, I feel like that's a little more trendy. But I'm not a name person. I can't really comment.
2KO, 2XKO, KO2.
I agree with some of the disagreement I've seen on Twitter, but at the same time, I hope they know what they're doing because it does stand out and maybe it's good from a marketing perspective. So yeah, let's talk about Illaoi. There is some footage that's already out, right? So we have about like 3 seconds in this clip, and this is what I saw. Special in the super. It's so funny. The build that we saw was a super early footage build, and this super, like, basically what would happen in the early footage build is she would just like kind of stand there, and then the tentacles would like all go around. It was kind of funny. But yeah, this is just like, think of it as your damage ender super. This didn't have invincibility in the early playtest, right? It was more of I went to end my combos with this special, and like if you had like a DHC fusion, you could, you know, use that fuse to go into your other character. But
okay, so that super that she does in the clip has no invincibility. It's just a combo ender then. Okay, but that's, again, that was the early build, right? So
honestly, this was a super that didn't get used very much. Of course, at least in the build that we played, every character had 3 supers, and her other 2 supers were like the really cracked out ones. So the level 2, the one that cost 2 bars, was your invincible super. That's how it was for a lot of characters, I think. And then your, oh my gosh, she had the most degenerate.
Oh no, you said that's for a lot of characters. So level 2 supers are invincible for like majority of the cast. Then it might be a universal thing.
Invincible super. That's
similar to how in Street Fighter most level 1s are like invincible.
Was for most, characters, I think. And then your, oh my gosh, she had the most degenerate super I've ever seen in any fighting game. I can't. She used to like spawn tentacles out of the ground. I'm not sure if she still does. I have to imagine, because it seemed like it was a core concept of her game plan. But basically, you would spawn many tentacles out of the ground, and when I was talking to the devs, they said they're going to change this. But the thing that was really cheap in the build that we played was you could swap out to another character, and then the tentacles would still remain, and then you could go for 50-50s.
Oh.
And because Illaoi wasn't out on the field, even if you hit the point character, the tentacles wouldn't go away and they get smacked. It was
That's
super
nonsense.
cheap. So
That means she did like that's crazy. That means there's basically 3 players. You basically have 3 players on the screen instead of having 2. So even when you tag out, the tentacles stay. So then you can create a mix up with the other character as a solo because the tentacles are just there. That's actually insane. That's insane. I don't know if that's gonna stay.
in the build that we played, I didn't know this during the tournament that we played, so I didn't abuse this. But apparently, like in the internal tier list, they were thinking Illaoi was one of the strongest characters because they could she was like kind of like a support character, right? You would do the tentacle super, you'd switch out to your point character, and then you just go for mix up, and it was super cheap and super busted. And I unfortunately didn't exploit that to the fullest. I kind of just used the super, kept Illaoi on point, and it's still really cheap because she had she sort of had mix up where she has like a jump normal that is kind of like a delayed jump in, or she could go empty low and you could mix up between the two. And if you're really good, she had like fuzzy mix up, but she had like mix up that had to be set up off of like a safe jump, right? She didn't have like mix up just standing on the ground. There's some additional,
so it seems like Illaoi is a heavily mix-up character then.
A little bit in here, obviously this
but
is the
as a support, like a support mix.
a couple of her normals into this. This was a thing, right? But like the combo potential wasn't here. Like you couldn't, I don't believe you could pick up like this, right? And you also couldn't combo this in the super for whatever reason. Like she had a really hard time comboing the super. So what you would do is you would do that and then you set up the tentacles and then you go for Oki, right? But this seems that seems pretty good. Also, like look up the big thing is
this
she
game
did
looks
more
amazing.
damage out of like anyone else I played. And yeah, that did a freaking chunk, right?
You say you should
like anyone else. This seems that seems pretty good. Also, like look up the big thing is she did more damage out of like anyone else I played.
Highest damaging character.
That did a freaking chunk, right?
Okay.
And it looks like it still costs 1 bar. So yeah, it's one of her 1 bar supers, right? And that's all the footage we really have. So
I mean, with her build and stuff, you would expect her to do a lot of damage, right?
Don't know. It looks
slow
like
moves in, not super quick.
This is I think this is just her air charged H if
Big
I
body,
remember correctly, right?
Like
and
buff.
that's just her launcher, and then that's an air special. It's kind of just like a dive kick.
An anti-air?
I guess now it looks like you can OTG off of. But the main thing was like she has a couple specials that would spawn tentacles, right? So I think it was her neutral skill 1. It was kind of like a dashing lunge attack, and what this dashing lunge attack would do is you would block it, and then it would spawn a tentacle on them, and then the tentacle would kind of like on hit. It would hit and then you get a full combo, and on block it was kind of like the tentacle is there, it was your turn but the tentacle's there, so if you don't press the right button like the tentacle will retaliate or something like that. So you had to press, you were kind of like locked into certain options.
Oh, she's
after
like,
you blocked the move from Illaoi, and
that actually sounds interesting.
Like, beat out your response. So it was kind of like it was almost her turn after you blocked like this launching attack, which seems really strong, and it is, right? Any forward advancing move where it's still your turn.
She seems a little bit like a trap character, like character that puts a bunch of stuff on the screen, and it's kind of like you have to negate your way around it on defense. Her gameplay sounds interesting in general. Like, wait, but if she's doing all of this sort of set play, putting stuff on the screen, while having the mix-ups with the tentacles, and she's the highest damaging character so far that you said he's played. I mean, it's early days still. This is not like final product, but that seems like a lot.
And
that seems like a lot.
Is very good move, and that's kind of like the core of the game plan. Is basically like you would get in, you do this move, and then you would is kind of like RPS situation, kind of like May S Dolphin in Guilty Gear, where it's like you block the Dolphin, but you still have a lot of things you can do after. Very similar with Illaoi, except this goes into a full combo and hit. But the issue with Illaoi was that it was really hard for her to get in, right? So we're talking like
it's hard for
at least on the
there's the drawback then.
A support character, right? And yeah, the issue, she had like no neutral. She had literally no. You basically you run forward, you try to swing these buttons, but everyone else, you know, they have fireball. You don't have anything to get around fireballs. You have that
She has
dive
no
kick, but the dive kick
projectile,
wasn't very
okay?
good.
No projectile.
And also her air mobility was bad. So like every character had like an air dash, right? So some characters like had more than one air dash, but most people at least they can like do a jump and then they can alter their jump momentum. But Illaoi, other than that like falling dive kick, that basically wasn't a dive kick because it was really easy to hit her out. She didn't have anything you could do. So it was very, very hard to get in if you didn't have an assist. And then like, but once you're in, you were good, right? You basically had like some.
See, this is looking like good design from what I'm hearing, because like I just said earlier, she has all these tools with this mix up potential, highest super high damage, all these traps and set play, all of this is cool. But again, with good design, a character like that needs to have a drawback, and it seems like the drawback is mobility, not great movement, air options, slower mobility. So that's actually pretty good.
Some really cheap pressure tools.
And she has no projectile, right? So no ways to really avoid projectiles but jumping over or blocking them. So there's 100% a weakness there from what you're saying. There's a weakness.
And also that really, really broke super that we're talking about before. So if you get the hit, it hurt, and then you would go into the broken super, and then you do your mix up, right? But yeah, so she was very one-dimensional. She was very, I hit hard and I set the plays, but my neutral is complete trash. And so, but when you're 2v2, like you can kind of make up for that because you have an assist, or you can like have someone better at neutral on point, and then the other character can, I mean, you can have Illaoi come in after you get the hit, and I think all those strategies were really strong. But there would be some times where like I'd have Illaoi in a 1v2, and it was the most helpless feeling ever, right? So when I was like giving feedback to the devs, I'm like, what they should do with the character, I'm like, make her less polarizing, right? Like nerf this extremely broke super, and I think they were going to do that anyways. And then give her like some ability to play neutral. So for example, like she has, again, this really cool tentacle attack after her 5 skill. Or skill 1, but you could you know, maybe make her like do full screen tentacles that like aren't super cheap, but at least they'll like force the initiative and make your opponent think a little bit in neutral, because again, her movement is really slow. They could zone her out really easily. So something that would like at least make her playable in a 1v2, right? And yeah, that was mostly the feedback. I think Illaoi is really sick. I really enjoyed playing her. My team again was Illaoi and another to be announced character that I can't talk about, but yeah, I think.
Damn. See, I wonder. That's crazy because was this at Evo? Like, was this at Evo when they got to play? Because if it was, that was quite a while ago. And also, like, because yeah, that was quite a while ago. I wonder how many characters they actually got to play in their build. Because this was a while ago, and he's only able to talk about this now, and he's only able to talk about Illaoi. So that's crazy. It was probably going to be more like another video from a few people talking about the next character who we don't know who it is yet. But yeah, this is interesting.
Hopefully you guys get the chance, because Illaoi is my favorite character in the build that we play, and I think she still will be.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really the kind to like go for bruiser characters, but she has had like a lot of, I don't know, like her pressure sequences are really, really fun to play around with. So, and also like, you know, swinging. Oh, how did I forget this? She also had a really like some of the cheapest assists, right? So, you know, for example, this is that Ari assist, right? That hits multiple times. She had an assist that basically she would like slam the ground, but it would go like almost full screen. It actually looked exactly like her level 1 super. It didn't maybe not like go full screen, but it's like this wind, like you see how she has like this wind up animation right here, and then like it hits the ground, like,
right?
You can't really say yeah, it's like that was basically her assist, right? And so and she had like another assist that was like kind of like a quicker attack, but that was the real assist that you're supposed to use. And if that hit, you got a full combo. It also had hella block stun. It also like hit other assists, so the assist is really cheap. So again, very, very high support value. Wouldn't surprise me if they like nerf that. But yeah, really, really fun, very easy character too. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Illaoi thought.
All right, well, that's it for the reaction, man. Again, make sure you guys, if you want to check out the original video, it will be linked down below in the description. Make sure you guys check that out, the link to Diaform's channel. But yeah, what I think about this, I'm just excited to see more characters. I'm excited to see more characters in Project L, man. We're gonna check out all the new character details that keep coming out over the in the next year, right? Throughout this year, I should say, because they're looking to release the game in 2025. If you don't know where they're looking to have a 2025 release date. But yeah, man, this is interesting. I want to see more from Project L, so I'm gonna keep watching these videos and analyzing these things. But yeah, I want to know how many characters they got to play like that early on. It sounds like there was another character which they can't talk about yet, right? So I wonder how many characters they really got to play. But yeah, that was the reaction, man. Project L was looking sick. Hopefully it drops and it's a good game when it drops. I have faith in Riot. And yeah, we're going to be playing it, going to be streaming it a bunch. And speaking of streaming, if you guys watch these videos all the time, you know what I'm saying? If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys click the link on screen right now. Well, actually click it in the comments or description, but the link will be on screen to my Twitch channel where I live stream pretty much every day. I'm always streaming. So you guys can check out the streams, man. You know what I'm saying? If you guys enjoy the videos, check out the live streams. Without further ado, I'll catch you guys in the next video.